folks, and welcome to their Saturday morning Samoflange. I'm Matt, and Benjamin just left. He was here watching a movie with me, and I guess he forgot we were going to record. He was really tired, though. And then, oh well. We'll catch him next time, I guess. But anyway, what we're going to talk about today, and what I can talk about, which I'm totally fine talking about, is it's Christmas time. Merry Christmas, everyone. And a lot of us, or some of us, have Christmas traditions. And so today I wanted to talk about a lot of those Christmas traditions that you may have had past, present, and maybe you'll make some in the future. I know with my girls, I'm going to eventually have, we're going to have these little traditions. Traditions aren't that big of a deal. Little things that you do as a family. Back in the day, when I was a kid, one of the things that harkened the Christmas time was probably mom and dad putting up the tree, the stockings, everything. We used to have fires going on, and that was always a lot of fun, was putting the decorations on the tree together. We still kind of do that, but it's a little bit different. But in the past, we did that all the time, and some of those really, really, really old ornaments are still on my parents' tree today. Anything that broke, they finally threw away, but we used to just load it down. Now, Mom doesn't use all of the ornaments, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go ahead and give my top 5 and then talk about other Christmas traditions that I'd like to start having, of course, with my girls. Because when my girls get older, of course, we're going to have more traditions, right? So number 5 for me is the very first thing I listen to. And a lot of you who know me, you know my YouTube channel, you can see this happening. I don't listen to Christmas music before Thanksgiving. That is a sin. You don't listen to it. It's before Thanksgiving. Don't even try it. And I am adamantly against any Christmas music. My wife is secretly listening to Christmas music the day November 1st. November 1st, after Halloween, which she loves Halloween. After that, she is all Christmas music. And she's just sitting on G, waiting on O for me to give the green light, which is the day after Thanksgiving, that we can start decorating our house for Christmas. And so she sits there in purgatory listening to her Christmas music in her car. If ever I'm driving her car, I will switch that off and turn on something else. No Christmas music before Thanksgiving. Bah humbug, I'd like to say to that. But when Christmas starts and when we start decorating the tree, it's usually the next day. One of the first things we always listen to, or I always listen to, I should say, is the 1980 album Star Wars Christmas, called Christmas in the Stars. I have listened to that since the mid-90s, I want to say, when it came out on CD. It's been out since 1980, but I knew about it but never listened to it until it came out, and it got re-released, I believe it was 1996. And so that Christmas, I remember that was the first thing when I was driving in my car, I said, I need to listen to Christmas music. I know, I'll listen to that CD I just got. And so I popped it in and listened to it. And now I'd listened to it when I bought it that summer, so yes, I broke my own rule, I realize that. But I thought it was kind of silly and kind of stupid, and I just put it up into the CD case of my car. But when I started driving around that day after Thanksgiving, I went, oh, you know what? Now it's time for Christmas music. So I got that one, I popped it in, and that has traditionally been the first song that I will play during the Christmas season, to ring in the Christmas season. Sometimes it's played that night when Megan and I are decorating the tree. I will play Christmas in the Stars. Now, Megan loves Christmas in the Stars too. She loves the song R2-D2, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. That is her favorite song of all, and probably one of her favorite Christmas songs too. She really likes it, so she doesn't mind it at all. It is kind of hokey and silly. I think I've done a review on the Christmas album before on my YouTube channel, but it is something that I traditionally listen to the very first of the year. Side note, anytime I get a new car, the first album I play in that car is Weezer's Blue Album. Because every car I've had since the very first car, the very first thing I put in that tape deck was Weezer's Blue Album. And then the other 2 cars or 3 cars I've had since then, all of them, Weezer's album. Weezer's album always plays first. So if ever I get a new car, my next new car, the Weezer Blue album will be the first thing played in it. I guess that's just tradition. But for me, that's one of my big traditions, is popping in that first music. Now, we have a record player here, and I do have the record version, which I haven't listened to yet, but I will soon. We usually have a little Christmas party in the next week or so, and so usually we'll just play a ton of Christmas albums. We got the Chipmunk Christmas album, the Christmas in the Stars, and what's his name? Perry Como's Christmas, and then the Nutcracker. Now, to be honest, I know you can get all these on Amazon's music or Spotify or whatnot, but there's something about a Christmas album, a record, playing Christmas music. It sounds just like home. It reminds me of the old days. Used to play those albums all the time, and an album at Christmas is just wonderful. And so we'll play those, and I think those are the 4 songs we have. We may have something else in there. Oh, there's another one of Megan's old, that we bought, Christmas records. You can find these records for cheap at flea markets and antique stores for like $1, sometimes 10 cents. I know the Perry Como and the Nutcracker we got for 10 cents. I was like, come on, a Perry Como Christmas for 10 cents on record, which sounds so beautiful, so beautiful. So anytime there's a Christmas album, when we go out to flea markets or whatnot, and it's it's someone we know, if it's pretty decently priced, we'll get it. Children's albums, they didn't get reprinted a lot. A lot of those records are kind of gone. They only came out in record form. They didn't come out in tape deck or CD or digital. I'll get those too. But Christmas in the Stars. My wife bought this for me after I had the CD. She found the record and got it for me because she knows I love Christmas music on record. And like I said, our record player, which was another Christmas present she got me. It's one of my favorite Christmas presents, I think, from her that she's ever gotten me. It's one of those CD, tape deck, record player, AM, FM, stereo things. Like I guess they call it a 5-in-1. But it plays all my music, and we have a small record collection. There's a little shelf it stands on, and it has room for every single record and maybe a handful more. Maybe it looks like it could fit about 5 to 7 more records in there before it's totally packed. But it's perfect for flipping through right now, so maybe I don't want to buy any more. But I am very picky on what records I get for it. But Christmas records, I think I'll always spring for a Christmas record at this point, unless there's something. I think all the albums from my childhood I've already recollected, and there's nothing else out there that I want on record. I know they do Weezer on record, and a lot of things, I guess, called vinyl. But a lot of songs come out on vinyl now, and that's really cool. I think that's awesome, but I'm not going to pay like 20-something bucks for it either. But the old stuff is what I like, and I think the only thing that I would get to add on to that record collection at this point would be albums. Now that I'm thinking about it. But like I said, I'm pretty happy with the record collection we have. We don't really go to flea markets or antique stores much anymore. But if we ever do, I will flip through the record album. I always flip through the Christmas one to see if there's some sort of fun Christmas album to play because, so wonderful. And if you know of other crooners like Perry Como, who a lot of people have forgotten about now, who have excellent Christmas albums, let me know in the comments below. And I'll definitely circle their names the next time I go out because, like I said, Christmas albums on record, on vinyl. Like you need to start saying vinyl. Are just absolutely wonderful. But Christmas in the Stars can be played digital, CD or record. It doesn't matter to me as long as it gets played as the first official Christmas music of the Christmas. It rings in the Christmas season. I wonder how many other people are like that. Now, before you ask, do I watch the holiday special every Christmas too? The horrible Christmas holiday special. No. In fact, it's been years since I've watched it. I will eventually watch it again. I did entertain watching it this year, but then I figured I really don't care about it right now, so I'll just kick it down a few more years. Maybe when I rewatch all the movies, I'll rewatch the Christmas special again. But Christmas special ain't that special, okay? It is garbage. It's not like I can enjoy it. It's so bad I enjoy it. It's so bad, it's bad. That's what it is. There's very few enjoyable moments in there. But that is not a Christmas tradition. I've watched that movie about 3 or 4 times. I thought about making it a Christmas tradition way back in college and then realized that I really, really, really did not like it. So I'll bring it out every once in a while when someone says, hey, did you know they made a Christmas movie? Yeah, Star Wars Christmas. Yeah, I have it. You want to see it? And we'll watch and they'll go, wow, this is worse than I thought it'd be. I said, yeah, it's really terrible. But the Christmas album, that's pretty good. I'll give it a watch. Should you listen to it? I'm sure it's on YouTube. Should you listen to it? Yeah, I guess. If you're a Star Wars fan, go ahead and check it out. Silly stuff like, what do you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already owns a comb? Come on. I can see us all singing that over the bonfire. let me see. Wish You a Merry Christmas. Christmas in the Stars, which is the title of the album. And I can't remember. I don't have it in front of me, but a few. Anthony Daniels comes back, by the way, the voice of C-3PO, and he's on the track. He's singing along with everyone else. And actually, fun fact: young Bon Jovi, before he was known as John Bon Jovi, this was his first recorded song. Was on this album. I think it was R2D2 "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," which I'm sure is being played at all of his concerts. No, this is his dad or his uncle owned the recording studio, and they needed someone to sing, and he knew his nephew had a good voice, so he let him record on the Star Wars album. Now, if you think about 1980, when Star Wars was huge back then, that's such a big break for a young kid like that. But the name, it was his real name, it wasn't Bon Jovi, it's John Mazzolini or whatever his last name was. That's who he's credited as. But that was his first recorded song with Star Wars Christmas album, which, to be honest, is a big deal, right? You got you that album probably, I don't know. I was around in 1980, but I wasn't keeping up with sales. I'm sure it sold like hotcakes because Star Wars was really big back then, so anything Star Wars was awesome. So your voice got heard in millions of homes across the world. So that's not a bad start, but that's where John Bon Jovi got his start, was on that Christmas album. Not that that's any other reason to love this album. It's not really that awesome, but it's fun. It's fun. There's one about Bales. There's a song about Bales. He's trying to teach C-3PO about Bales. It's R2-D2 and C-3PO basically narrating their way through stories. C-3PO talks about the odds against Christmas. The odds against Christmas being Christmas are 365 to 1. Bum, bum, Christmas, you see, could have easily, see, I can sing it, never, ever begun. There you go. So, never mind. This is a great album. You should listen to this. And then he recounts the story of Santa Claus. Oh gosh, the night before Christmas. Anthony Daniels reads The Night Before Christmas to a bunch of aliens, or robots, some other robots, because he's a robot. So there's a lot of cute stuff in there, a lot of fun stuff, obviously made for kids and whatnot. But it's a fun album to listen to. I actually like it. And by the way, they don't call him Santa Claus because it's Star Wars. They call him S-Claus. S-Claus. There you go. So that's my number 5. Well, that was a bigger explanation than what I thought it would be. Okay, so let's go into number 4. Number 4 is another thing. It's another thing to ring in the Christmas season, and that is my first full glass of eggnog. Oh yes indeed. I love me some eggnog. Now, I will drink eggnog after Christmas. I'll drink eggnog until it disappears from the stores, which is quickly after Christmas. I mean, sometimes the week of Christmas, that stuff's gone. I mean, there's like stockpiles of it everywhere, and then they just take it out and pour it out, I guess, after Christmas. So you got to buy as much as you can right at the end of Christmas so you'll have plenty left over. Because I will drink that until hopefully early January is the latest. But eggnog is something that I've always enjoyed. I do get me a big glass of eggnog. I've cut down. I used to get me a large, super large glass of eggnog. My sister used to laugh at me and went, no wonder you go on a diet in January. Every January I go on a diet because of all the eggnog I drink in Christmas season. So, but yeah, I don't hold back, man. Christmas season, bring on the cookies, the brownies, the sweets. They're going to be there, right? And so afterwards, everyone knows this who knows me. I go on a 30-day diet in the month of January. I don't mind doing that because I celebrate Christmas, and that's fine. But because you're eating, I am consuming way more calories this month than any other month of the year. I do put on a little bit of weight, and so I can tell the pants aren't already. I think before Thanksgiving, I was having this issue. The pants are I'm not wearing a belt. Let me just tell you that. I'm not wearing a belt right now. So, I don't need a belt. In fact, I have to suck in just to button it up. You know what I'm saying? So the jeans are a little tight. Wearing sweatpants right now. A lot of sweatpant wearing going on. But eventually, I will get back into the jeans all comfortable with a belt, not on the last loop either. And all it takes is 30 days to get back on the diet. I just go on a strict diet of salad, chicken, fish. What else can I eat? I can eat beef every once in a while, steak every once in a while, and anything green like broccoli and Brussels sprouts. I can have cauliflower, spinach, stuff like that, okra. and I'll cucumbers, and I'll just binge on all that goodness. Eggs, I can do scrambled eggs all day long, and do that for 30 days, and then I'm back to normal. I zero back out. I lose that little bit of weight I just gained back, and then I go back to normal, just eating regularly, so to speak. But man, I love to pig out during Christmas, and eggnog is probably, now that I think about, the biggest tradition there. And what type of eggnog do I like? Well, personally, I like Borden's. Just the plain Jane Borden's. No one in my family likes Borden's. Dairy Gold is nasty. It's garbage. I tried it once because it was cheap, and I know why it's cheap. It's garbage. But everyone loves the Southern Comfort eggnog, and so my wife just buys that, which is fine. It's fine. I'll drink that too. That's a good wine. That's a good eggnog. The other one that she just got, that was good. I don't think I'd want to get it again, but it was the Fireball one. We got it because of an inside joke. There's some friends of ours in Phoenix that get that joke, and whenever we see Fireball, we just kind of laugh. And so there's a Fireball eggnog, non-alcoholic, and it tastes like one of the Fireball candies that had been melted into your eggnog. It was interesting. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst by far either. I enjoyed it. I would drink it again if we had some more. But we're probably going to we had 2 cartons of eggnog already. We're probably going to get a third one. I don't know why we haven't gotten a third one yet, because we ran out of the last eggnog a week ago. What's going on here? But we'll probably get another carton or 2 of eggnog and take it down. It'll probably be Southern Comfort, the Southern Comfort eggnog, non-alcoholic. Alcoholic eggnog, I spit that out too. It's nasty. I remember one year we bought some because they were like, no, you'll love it because you can't even, everyone says this, Matt, you won't even be able to taste the alcohol. That's a lie. It's always a lie. I can always, even if it's eggnog, I had the alcoholic eggnog, I can't remember what it was called, but we bought it one year and I was like, Megan, you're going to have to drink this. This is nasty. I'd rather drink Dairy Gold than alcoholic eggnog. I just do not like the taste of alcohol at all. Ugh, it's nasty. So no alcoholic eggnog from me, please. But the Southern Comfort and the Fireball one that's non-alcoholic, those are both fine. Of course, I'll never get to have Borden's because no one would, I guess my wife wanted, but my wife wouldn't drink Borden's. She doesn't like it. But either way, though, eggnog is eggnog, and eggnog is one of my favorite treats over the holiday season. You're thinking, well, how many treats are there? Well, there's candy canes, which I don't really care about. And then there's, what else would be considered Christmas? Oh, the Little Debbie stuff. The Little Debbie gingerbread men, which my wife said aren't in stores right now, which is kind of wild. I thought they would be, but they aren't. And we get the Christmas trees, not the Christmas brownies, not the Christmas rolls or Christmas Nutter Butter. She didn't like any of those. She just likes the Christmas tree cakes. And the Christmas tree cakes, I admit, they're good. They're good. Christmas tree cakes are pretty good. I've only had one. We bought like 3 boxes, but I've only had one of those. They go pretty fast around here. The girls don't like them either. We tried to give them one. They didn't really think it was that tasty. Even though it's sugar, they weren't really big on that. But the missus loves the Christmas cakes, Christmas tree cakes from Little Debbie. Like I said, they're just like the zebra cakes. Back in the day, I used to eat those all the time and love them. But no, to me, the biggest treat during the holiday season is my number 4, eggnog, a Wilkins tradition. Does that even count as a tradition now that I'm thinking about it? Anyway, moving on. My number 3 is one that this tradition I've had for 20 years. It's a movie. We all have our Christmas movies that we watch every year. I'm the same way too. For me, Christmas movies, I will switch out. I want to see, just like Halloween movies, I want to flip them around every other year. Like, I don't want to watch the same Christmas movie over and over and over again. Every other year, I can do that. But there's one movie that is an exception. Every year, I've seen it for 20 years, and that is Jim Carrey's The Grinch. Absolutely love that movie. Could quote it, the whole movie on my own. There's so many funny parts on it. So great. Actually, oddly enough, Benjamin from Saturday Morning Samoflange, my co-host, he has watched it with me. He's been a part of several of those early traditions of watching it through, because I'd usually go over to his house and we'd watch it, or he'd come over to my apartment and watch it. So he was a part of a lot of viewings with me, and now it's good to have him back because he came back and watched the movie with us this evening. So it was a lot of fun, and just watching that movie again, just even though I see it every year, I just love it. I love it so much. It's a great, great movie. It's so funny. I remember watching it in theaters the very first year. Me and my brother went, and we were the only one. If the theater was full, and we were the only ones laughing hard. I thought that movie was hilarious. I still think even though I know all the jokes now, it's still funny to me. And I remember in 2011, it was 2011. I decided that after 10 years of straight watching this, I was like, you know what? At that time, I was the only one watching it. For the past couple of years, it had just been me, like 2 or 3 years. No, my family wasn't interested in watching it. Usually I'd bring it over Christmas Eve and we'd all watch it, but then like, we want to watch something else. I was like, oh, okay. And so I had to go home late that night and stay up and watch it because it's part of my tradition. And then 2 years, I think my wife watched it with me once. And then the second year, the 2010 season, no one cared about that movie. They wanted to watch something else. So I went and watched The Grinch by myself. Well, then I realized, like, you know what? If I'm the only one watching this, I don't want to do it anymore. So I think 2011 came around, and it was Christmas Day, and my sister goes, "Oh, did you do your Christmas tradition of watching The Grinch?" And I went, Nah, I'm done with it. She went, "Oh, you can't break that tradition." I said, "What do you care? You haven't watched it with me in 3 years." She went, "I'll watch it right now on Christmas Day." I said, well, yeah, Christmas Day counts, so all right. So we watched it, and I'll give credit to my sister. She kept the tradition alive because I was willing to just let it go, every other year like all my other Christmas movies. But I decided, she kind of saved it for me that one year, and ever since then I've been picking it back up. Now, some of those times I've been having to watch it by myself, but that's fine. I'm fine with that now. So every year it's going to be The Grinch at my house. And it's usually toward the early Christmas season. My wife has the Frosty the Snowman cartoon, the old cartoon. That's something that she always watched as a kid back in the day, so we made that one of our traditions too. Well, I think we watched that one first, and then later on that evening, unless someone wants to come over, we'll watch The Grinch. So we watched The Grinch a little bit later on in the Christmas season, but it's still going to get a watch, and every year, all the other movies like Home Alone and Muppet Christmas Carol and, oh gosh, what other Christmas movies have we been watching? All these other Christmas movies, I can take those every other year. Every other year. I don't have to see them every year. The Family Man. Oh, that's a great movie. Nicolas Cage's probably best movie, Family Man. Check it out. But those movies I could watch every other year. I watched Trains, Planes, and Automobiles for Thanksgiving, and that's a movie I'll watch every 3 or 4 years. I'll put that one in. It's not like a Thanksgiving tradition, but about every 4 years, I guess I'll put that one in. But Christmas movies, every other year, I'll watch them. Elf, I'm not going to watch Elf every year. And some of these I just don't want to watch every year. Now, the missus, she could watch every Christmas movie over and over again every year. But for me, the only one that's always going to be there is the Grinch. All right, so that's number 3. What are the last two? The last two are kind of special to me. Number 2, I talked about earlier, our family Christmas tree decorating party. We've always done this. Mom has always made pizza rolls, peanut M&Ms, and little egg rolls, and just easy stuff, easy snack food, the pizza bagels or something easy, simple, buffalo wings. And we just sit around, we pig out on that, and we decorate the tree. Something we did for decades. We have always done this. Last year, my mom decided to end the tradition. And we bellyached so much about it that she brought it back. She did not want to do it because, to be honest, the kids aren't really putting the ornaments on there. The grandkids are. And even now, some of the grandkids are older. It's the little babies who are doing it. And sometimes they're not doing it. So mom's probably saying that, oh, wait, my kids are not doing this anymore. No, we're letting the other kids do it. Like when my girls get older, I hope they can start putting some decorations on the tree too. But it's more for kids, and we just kind of sit around and eat and have a good time. So my mom wanted to cancel that tradition, learned her lesson really bad. Me and my sister sat around the table because we came in one day and saw that the tree was decorated. Went, wait, you decorated the tree? You had the party without us? She went, no, I'm just not going to do that anymore. And we were like, what? And so me and my sister would always say, we'd always pretend to get choked up whenever we talked to each other about it. We're like, hey, Charity, I'd say, do you remember when we used to decorate the tree and we had so much fun? And we do that, like we were holding back tears. And we just keep laughing doing that. Well, Mom got really irritated with us. And so she brought it back this year. But the funny thing was, if she didn't, we were going to show up that night anyway, just bring the food and decorate the tree. with or without her, we were going to do that. And it was funny that she decided to do it with us, But that's been a tradition for years. Again, like I said earlier, some of the old ornaments that my parents had back in the day are still there. They don't put them all up there. We used to put all the lights, even the old ones. Most of them I'm sure they've thrown a lot of those lights away now. And then we used to put all the ornaments up there. We don't put all the ornaments up there. Mom only puts a few up there, but we have tons more that we could decorate that tree with. But we used to just load it down with like everything, all the bows, all the ribbon. It was just it looked like a pile of ornaments with patches of fir tree peeking out beneath it. I mean, that's how bad heavily decorated and lit our tree was. You couldn't even tell it was a tree. But that's what made it special. Now, Mom doesn't allow that many ornaments because she does want the tree to be halfway presentable. And I get it, but it's still part of our tree. It's still part of our tradition. And I like a tree that's heavily loaded down. Our ornaments, I'll be honest, I'm kind of putting a cap on our ornaments. We don't get that many. Most of them, 98% of them are Megan's. But the thing is, though, I'd like lots of ornaments on the tree. I think that's really nice. And, of course, we can spread those ornaments out. We have 1, 2, 3 trees. One in our kitchen, which is a white tree that Megan loves. We have a small one in our room. We just gave away the old big one we had, and I'm happy with that because we didn't need that many Christmas trees. We had them all out here for a while. But the small Christmas tree is back in our house, back in our room. And then the little girls have a little pink tree, which was my wife's tree back when she had her own apartment. So everyone has a little Christmas tree everywhere, and it's just the right size. And we kind of divvy out the ornaments among the 3 trees, which is fine. I mean, the 1, 2, 3, 4 trees, which is fine. Nothing's too heavily put in there. We need a new topper though for our main tree. We either lost the topper or no, it doesn't fit anymore. Now we got a new tree. But either way, we got a little choo-choo train running around our tree. Yes, that's right. The track that attaches to the center pole of your fake tree or real tree and then moves around it. We got that. It's a lot of fun. We didn't even realize we'd bought it. The year before, we opened it up and said, "Oh, look, here it is." And so we put it in there, and it goes around making choo-choo noises. Really wonderful. We didn't put the one on the bottom of the tree. We have one for the bottom. But we decided to only have one tree this year since the girls would really tear up the other track that's on the bottom. Last year they couldn't even crawl, so we basically just had them. We would watch the tree go around the bottom, and they had fun. And boy, did they want to crawl to it. They were getting on their haunches and moving back and forth, but they couldn't figure out how to crawl to the train. Now they can walk everywhere. It's kind of wild too, and talk now too. Really crazy. What's next year going to be like? Kids grow up fast, man. They grow up really fast. But anyway, that's number 2 is decorating the family Christmas tree. And finally, number one is me and my wife doing our after the December 26th day after Christmas sale. Everything is marked 50% or more off, and that's when we'll go out and buy more stuff. Now, I don't know what is on our list this year. I probably want a few more stompers. We have these things that you stomp, and it'll turn on and off the lights much easier than unplugging things. And I think I think we've used every stomper this year, and we don't have any extras, which is a bad thing because eventually some of these are going to die. Like 2 of them died this year, and I had 2 extra from the year previous. So we're probably going to buy more of those. Probably not many other. I don't want any more signs. We got tons of stuff around our house, but maybe. I don't know. I think we're good on lights too because we got the outside lights. Sure, a few of them are dead. I do want to throw a few away, but there was a few boxes that we had bought the year before that we never used. We didn't use this year because we've covered all of our shrubs and lights. So this next year, I'm going to throw away there's 2 nettings that some of them don't work all the way. We're just going to throw those 2 away, and we have 3 boxes unopened. So we have plenty of net lighting. So I don't really know what else we're going to look for. But we always like to look around and see what's new, and my wife gets something always to decorate the Christmas season. Last year we got tons of stuff. And our closet is bursting at the seams. We have an outdoor garage closet that only holds Christmas stuff. It's so packed to the gills. Now this year we did consolidate some of the boxes, which is really good. So that will kind of help us out on the stuff. And we've emptied out a few things that were just garbage we weren't going to use anymore. Some decorations were just kind of bent or torn or just old, and we threw those away too. So we've made some room, and hopefully we'll keep that room. for this year, but who knows? We'll probably get a few extra things to decorate for the next season on, but that's probably ranks high, and that's probably my number one thing that we do. Even though it's the day after Christmas, it's still the Christmas season, and it's still a tradition. All right, folks. Well, hey, let me know in the comments below, what are your Christmas traditions? And I'll see you next time on another Saturday morning Samoflange. Merry Christmas.